100 mil from hitting him.
Surely.
Absolutely terrifying. So Saturday, qualifying around here is really, really important because that will win or lose your race weekend.
Hello, Tom.
Hey.
You good?
Yeah, man.
It's hot, isn't it?
Oh, mate, this is. I think it's the second hottest place in the universe.
We're at Oulton Park. The series with no name continues, where we look back and then we will look forward.
Of course.
Oulton Park last year.
Rightio.
So start off with some nice little clips.
It was a good-looking car last year, wasn't it? I did like the old Fluoro. That was a
there
good-looking car. Right, so round 10. We don't need to count. Peak 1. It was a... So... I don't know why, but Oulton Park in the past was never really that good for me.
Right.
I don't know why, because I love this place.
I think we referred to it as the Oulton Curse, didn't we?
I think we did. But I always got it, and I don't know why that was.
I think we referred to it as the Oulton Curse before.
I think that's exactly what we referred to it as, because usually something would go wrong. Chaos would down me. However, last year we didn't have any of that.
No.
Going into that weekend, for some reason, I don't know why, more so than last year than years previous, everyone was kind of going to, that's the only place you've never had a podium. And it literally was the only place I'd never had a podium.
Yeah.
So it was so difficult because you do have that extra little bit of pressure that comes with everyone going, oh, we've never had a podium.
Right.
So there was a little bit of that, but it just worked so well.
Yeah. So let's go forward to Sunday. Obviously, we can see you starting the race in first.
Yep.
Can I just quickly, something that perhaps a lot of people didn't know, let's go to how you were actually feeling on race day at Oulton Park.
Oh yeah, I wasn't very
sure
well
you
either.
weren't very well.
What was going on last year? And this year, I don't know what's wrong with me.
You
God,
didn't
I need
feel
more
very
ginger
well.
and turmeric in my life. So
here we
a quick
go,
play there. So I got a good launch. I managed to cover off Rory. He tried it a little bit around the outside.
Got a teammate there in
into
third as
one.
well,
Yeah, exactly that. But it was just hold station really, and I just kind of let the race play out as it came through. I was keeping an eye on Ash. I could see Ash as the race was going through. You're just aware of it. You're trying to manage the gap. You're trying to just make sure you're staying strong. You're making sure you're saving some tyres.
Yeah.
But at the point that Ash had sort of come into second, we probably had a second and a half, 2 seconds in the bank. So it was enough to just kind of just bring it home almost.
Of course.
It was such a weight off my shoulders to go like, okay, we've done it. That Oulton Curse is gone. And not just a podium, a win as well, and a win, you know, done nicely and enjoyably.
Yeah.
So the rubbish champagne clearly
Have to zoom in there.
clearly continued. That was just awful, wasn't it?
So race 2, we've obviously got Ash.
Yes.
Behind you here. Offers a completely different challenge.
Yeah, exactly that. So obviously, Ash and I have raced against each other for a fair few years now in touring cars, so I kind of know how Ash operates. Ash knows how I operate. So you kind of know each other's game plan a little bit. So it was really a case of just get your head down. Yeah. Get your head down, push. You know, we got a good start, got a good launch. That second phase hooked up nicely, pulled second, and we managed to get a little bit of a gap, as you could see there. And from that, open the corner up, try and get through that first lap as quick as possible. So cover off every attack
Ash come
you
under
can.
a little bit of pressure there, so that kind of played into your hands a little bit.
But at the same time, you kind of know that Ash is going to be super quick on those first couple of laps. It's when he's going to push hard. So I had to be mindful that I had to try and get a gap. I had to try and try, where possible, to get clear.
Yeah. So this race was, I mean, it's not too much in terms of your season. We're going to see what happens to you in this race, because obviously this happens.
There was a little incident, wasn't there?
Yes, but I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I saw smoke, I saw, well, initially, if I just really slowly go through it, at the point that Dan hits the barrier initially, and I go really slow motion here, can you see all the dust that it's kicked up?
Yeah.
So all I can see is this big cloud of dirt. I can't actually see what's going on, and if I really freeze frame it slowly, as Dan Cam moves out the way, I'm left with Dan just sat in the middle of the track like, well, I don't know where to go. Obviously, in hindsight, you should have gone that side of it. Yeah. Which would have been the right thing. But at the time, I was seeing a car coming across the track that way. So his trajectory, I thought, was going to continue to take him that way, which is then why I darted to the other side. I didn't expect him to stop quite as a... But I must have been...
millimetres.
100 mil from hitting him.
Surely.
So that was obviously fairly well timed to get away from it. But actually then, as the car digs in, I'm going across the grass here, in the air, sideways, thinking I don't want to now spin back across the track because I'm going to be just as involved.
Yeah.
But similarly again, all that did was scoop a load of grass up.
Yeah.
Assume there was going to be a red flag.
Red flag, yeah.
Because we came past for the first time and there was obviously utter, it was just like it was a plane crash. There was just stuff everywhere. So I mean, I've got a radiator full of grass, my engine temperatures are through the roof.
Yeah.
They'll red flag this.
Yeah.
And what will happen is that under a red flag is we'll all line up on the start line.
Right.
Then the mechanics can come in.
Right, okay.
Mechanics can clear the grass.
Yeah.
I'm still, I don't know, 8th, 9th, wherever I was at the time, it doesn't matter. I'm in the hot seat here actually. I've not done too badly out of this, all things considered. But they didn't. They left it under a safety car. And because they left it under the safety car, my engine temperature's coming up, we're coming up, we're coming up, we're coming up, we're coming up. And I had to box. And because I had to box,
of course,
to the back of the to the back of the pack you go.
But let's talk about Oulton then. I mean, that was an incredible weekend at Oulton. And when we're talking about when the season's won and lost, because we always have got, even when we talk about Thruxton last time out, where it was pointsy but not as pointsy and stuff happened, you can still see where the season is won and lost each round, and this one was a big one. Oulton Park with a pole and 2 race wins.
But also you've got to be mindful in that actually all the points that we did make up in that first and second race were then almost lost in the third. So actually you'd look at that and say, well, if you'd have finished 4th, 3rd in every race, or 4th in every race, actually the point score maybe would have been, I don't know if it was, I'd have to do the maths, but you know how sometimes you can look at it, you can look at it like that. So yeah, it is a really important one because track position is key. So Saturday, qualifying around here is really, really important because that will win or lose your race weekend. Like if you have a bad qualifying, you start in 15th, it's going to be a tough day for you. The only saving grace with us this year is that we've got the soft tyre, the hard tyre. So if you caught it right, you might have a soft tyre advantage or however you want to play it. But either way, it's going to be hard. Saturday's super, super important to make sure we're at the front, or if not, as close to the front as we can possibly be. So,
fan favourite track. This is going to be a big one. Again, everyone's out in force. The weather is going to be scorching as well, so it's going to be amazing. That is it, pretty much, for Oulton. Really.
There we go. Great. If we can have a Control Alt Delete of what happened in the last race and go copy paste out the first 2.
We'll take that. And then we'll roll on to have a little bit of a chat about Croft, which, I mean, if people aren't really following this by now, it's quite a good one as well.
That was very good one, but we'll get through this one. I hope the next one is just as good.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, buddy.
No worries.